When you look around you, do you see more good things than bad things, or more bad things than good things? Our natural instinct seems to be to focus on the bad, the times when we, quote, failed, or the times others have failed, the times that we think others are planning to make our lives worse and their lives better, the problems we as a society are having at overcoming the disparity and division that continues to plague us. We seem to approach life with the assumption that most people in most places are failing, given the way the world is. But what if we approached life with a different assumption? One that looks for the good things. What if we assumed that someone, somewhere is succeeding, even with the world being the way it is? Now, while it is important for everyone to recognize which assumption that may be leading them, it's really important for us as Christians because it reveals how active we think God is in the world. If we assume everything is bad and going to be bad, then we do not expect God to be active in making things better. But if we assume that there is goodness in the world, then we expect to see God active in the world and making things better. And since the Bible clearly shows that God is active in the world making things better, that's probably the assumption that we should have as well. Now, recognizing problems is important. We can't go around with our heads in the sand or in the clouds assuming that nothing is wrong just because maybe we don't experience it or just because we don't think it's really a big deal. There is brokenness in the world, and some of it is our fault. We are not perfect, and there are certain parts of our character that need to be fixed. Personally, the stressful times we have been living in have highlighted parts of my character I have previously been able to ignore. For example, I have thought or even said people are stupid more in the last couple of years than I did probably all 30 some odd years before that. Like when you drive into a snowing parking lot and you find it difficult to find a place to park because so many people have simply left their shopping carts in the middle of what may or may not be a parking space, something you can't tell because everything is covered in snow. Now, a statement like this reveals a kind of pride or arrogance, because when I say people are stupid, it implies really that other people are stupid, but I'm not. Now, I recognize that this is a problem. Recognizing this problem is the first step, but it's only the first step, because this recognition should also lead to change. But when I focus on that problem or that response, I'm often led to a place of pessimism and maybe even cynicism. I might start to resent my own reactions, thinking that it will never really change. Or maybe I'll even come to the place where I start to hate myself because I can't seem to get over this tendency to think that I'm better than everybody else. But if I only focus on the problem, I might also start to justify my response. I might start to pass the blame for my response on to other people. I might say something like, well, if they wouldn't act that way, I wouldn't respond this way. See, focusing on the problem makes it more difficult to expect better behavior for myself or for others. And it makes it hard to see the better behaviors when it does happen. Now let me say that again. When I focus on the bad, I find it more difficult to see the good. But when we focus on the good, the positive responses, the ways that people are having success and overcoming their pride, overcoming our own pride, we see good at work. We see God at work. And the same can be true of our individual lives as well. There are moments in my life when I do not respond with the arrogant, people are dumb kinds of thoughts. There's moments when I recognize that we are all dealing with a lot of different things and that most of us are doing the best we can with the information, upbringing, and flaws that we have. Moments when I am able to be open to God's actions in my life, and moments when I am more likely to see God's actions in others. And focusing on these moments actually helps them happen more regularly. So, as you go about your day this week, recognize the problems that exist, for sure, but also look for the ways that God is active, where someone, somewhere is succeeding at being a better person and making the world a better place, even though the world is the way it is. And may you see those places in your own life, and then possibly even share them with others.